Welcome back YouTube, once again VulturusMidnite here, and today's video will be the start of the second season of the Perk-a-Cola Emblem tutorials. Now, to get started with, I just want to say thank you for over 300 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. We've gotten a lot bigger since Black Ops 3 started. It was around a little over 100, so it's really nice to see 3 with triple digits and such like that. But also, Season 1 in the Perk-a-Cola Emblem tutorials has reached almost 8,000 total views just amongst those 4 videos, and I really do appreciate that. Anyways, for the Season 2 of Perk-a-Cola Emblem tutorials, we're going to start up with Stamin-up, and yes, it is in order. Flopper PhD, Deadshot, Daiquiri, and Mule Kick will be the following weeks. Now, I do apologise for being late on today when I said to one of my commenters, reason is just simple. I overslept. Anyways, let's get right into this recreation. Now, I will have the exact same document which I'm able to create this down in the description below. So if you wish to download that file and make this emblem quicker, do so. For this video, I am dedicating this to the people that wish to have a long video, for people that wish for me to go slow and not rush things. So if you'd like to rush, there is all the information there. I have changed the format of it and it is better suited. Every little information should be there. Anyways, with layer 1, what we want is the round square. Hang on, let me get rid of this notification. Alright, now what we want is a round scale, and we want it on a 47 X and Y. The reason being is, let's say, first of all, I'm going to show you why it's 47, because I've seen some people that's tried it and they did not do this, so I'm showing you why it is 47. For example, let me make it red, right? You can reach the end of the screen by 41, okay? Let me just save that. Now, when I publish it, and then look at my media, look at my showcase, look at my emblems. You can see on the ends there's a little bit of white, even though the emblem does not have it. This is why I have it at 47, just in case, so when you have it on the showcase, it doesn't screw up. Anyways, back to the actual tutorial, get rid of that. You want 47. Now, there is no change in position, layer rotation, or toggle, or flipping. Now, what you want for color is 224 on all 3 mixers. So we just do that a little bit quickly, and then we will move on to layer 2. There is no gradient on this layer. Now what we want is a pyramid. This is also located in tools right here, and for pyramid you want the layer rotation to be at 90. Now just to make double check, because sometimes it will go 89 or 91 after you saved and quit, even though it would display 90. It's a little weird glitch. Anyways, you want to toggle the right thumbstick and have, so it's not, when you change your scale, it doesn't do both at the same time. So we can make X 113 and Y 57. $113X and 37Y. Okay, so we got this layer. Now in terms of color, what we want is an orange color. 255, 128 and 0. Now what you want to do is quickly copy this so we don't have to do another rotation set. And for layer 3, what you want to do is change the color back to 224 on all 3 mixers, which is the second brightest color. Okay, so that's the shortcut for 224. Now on the X scale, you want 80. But on the Y scale, you want 63. Copy this again, and same again, change the color to this orange. Now for layer 4, you want it 43X with 69Y. Okay, so let's copy that again and change it back to the white. Well, almost white. Now what you want to do for layer 5 is make the X on 8 and then Y on 71. Same process, change it back to orange, and what you want now is minus 26X and 67Y. Copy this again and change it back to the almost white. Now for this you want minus 102X with 59Y. Now after this we want to be using the paintball. I believe they're in pattern near the bottom. Now for this you want to change scale 15. You don't want to change them individually, you want it equal. So you change them both at the same time, and you want this to stay at pure white. But what you want to do is change the opacity to 50. Get a little splash effect. You're going to copy this 2 more times, and on the second copy you're going to change it to 114 rotation. And on the other one you're going to change it to 277. Now just to double check that it's right rotations, 114, you see 276, when if you look back it's 277. Let's make sure we got this properly. Okay, there we go. We've got the little splasher in the middle there. Okay, so for layer 11 we want to make that bubble effect. So we want the fade layer, and what you want is to change it to 270 rotation. Okay, it is accurate. Now what you want to do is put this in the lower left corner, and the X and Y will be minus 116 by 17. Pretty much right up there in the corner. Now for this you want the colours to be on a gradient. So you press triangle for the colour picker and you toggle gradient, and for this you're going to put it back onto white. However, you're going to lower the opacity down on colour 2 to 10. You're going to change the colour 1 opacity to 30. Now what you're going to do is you're going to copy this, and what you're going to do is you're going to toggle outline and then change the colour to yellow. and the other colour will be transparent, which is on the left checkered board here. Now what you want to do is do this the same but on the opposite side. So copy the first layer and move this to positive 116x with 17y. Copy this, toggle again, get rid of color 2, make it transparent, and change this color 1 to yellow. It will be 255 by 255 by 0 in the color mixer. Now once you have completed the fade, what you want is another round square, and you're going to make this 65 by 18. Just to make sure you hit both of the boundaries from before and also get the right section of the gradient. Now what you want to do is toggle the color and toggle the gradient on, and you want to get the gradient rotation on 90. It's really finicky in the color. There we go. You want to keep the slider at 50, but color 1 you want opacity at 70, and color 2 just put it white for now and put that opacity on 50. Okay, so the first color is going to be orange, 255, 128, and 0. The other colour, I don't exactly know the shortcut, but it's 255 by 255 by 51. So it's kind of a yellow. It's a little bit too far there. Now once we have this, we want layer 16 to be curls. Curls is this weird looking one here. Now what you want is change the X scale to 42 and Y by 5. You want the color to stay at a solid, but you want to change the opacity down to 14. And with this, you want the color to be 255, 153, and 51. Now on the next one, we're going to have wicker. This wicker is going to be 42 by 44, so 42x scale, 44y scale, and we're going to change the opacity down to 7. We don't want it too bland, but we want it kind of subtle. And then change the color to yellow, 255, 255 by 0. After this, we want to start making the actual Perk-a-Cola design. So what we want is a full circle. But with this full circle, you want it both on 5 to almost get the full size that we can without having any distortions on the top and bottom border. So with this, we want to toggle the color, but toggle as a gradient, and we want this slider to be at 95. We also want the gradient rotation at 38. The first color will be complete white, the second color will be 160 by 160, which is also here. It's not exactly the middle, but one brighter than that. Now what we want is to copy that so we have the exact same pivot, but change it by 2 on the X and Y scale. For this, we want to toggle back on color, and which layer is this? 19, okay. So for this, we want to put the gradient slider back onto 50. Now what we want is the gradient rotate to be at 54. So color 1, we are choosing it to be 251, 133, and then 10. All the way down to the bottom, we're going to have this orangey colour. Okay, so the second colour, we're going to have a little bit darker. So we're going to have 234 red mixer. And then we're going to have 124 on green. And then 9 in the blue. Sometimes subtle really brings out some detail. Okay, so same again, copy, and this time we're going to have minus 19 on the X and Y scale. Now for this, you want to change the color back to solid and make it 153 on red. This is going to be a brownish color. 76 green, and then 0 on blue. Copy that again. So layer 21, this is where it's going to be the white on the inside. So we're going to have minus 23, and we're going to change the color back to a gradient. So color 1 will be white, color 2 will be 192. So since this was 160, it's going to be the one in between, the middle, and the bright, and that should be 192. We want to change this opacity to 100 though, so I actually get it shown. And then this gradient rotation will be at 52. So once you've done that, we want the perk kind of design on the perk label. So what we want is to start off with a round square, and we're going to make the X position 0 and the Y position minus 9. Y goes positive downwards, so it's upwards. Now what we want is this X scale to be minus 46. The minus Y scale will be 74. We're going to change the color to 251, 133, and 10. We want it a broad orange. We're then gonna make a pyramid, but we're gonna change the rotation to 180 to have it upside down. Since sometimes it can be finicky, I want to make sure it's dead on 180. I do recommend you do this sometimes for some rotations, as it does help. Okay, so for layer 23 the pyramid will be at 38y. So with the scale we're going to have minus 44 on the x. Try and make this as even as possible, and then minus 87 in y. Now we're also going to change this colour to 51, 133 and 10. I'm trying to get the precision dead on right. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to copy these and you're going to make their colour white. So on both of them, really quick, toggle them both white. Now on the first one, you want the scale to minus 50 on the x and then minus 80 on the y. We're going to make the tiny border. So for this we want y back up at 36. Also change the scale x on minus 48 and then minus 91 height. Now what you want to do again is copy them over, but then change them back to the orange colour. Okay, so for layer 26 it will be the inner round square, so we're going to change the y position to minus 7, and then we're going to change the scale x to minus 58, and then minus 88 for y. Layer 27 will be the pyramid, and we're going to make this up to 33. And we're going to change the scale on x to minus 57, and then y minus 100. Sometimes the X position could be a little bit wonky. It would display 0, but on the actual thing it seems distorted. Just making minor tweaks here and there, just because I want it to be a good example for you guys. Okay, so for layer 28 we're going to make the actual Stamin-up design on the label. So what we're going to do is make a full circle, and what we want to do is have the colour stay at white, so we don't want to mess around with colour. And we're going to have scale on X minus 88, and then Y we want minus 122. So for rotation we want 347, and we're going to move this to Y position 17. We're going to copy this, but we're going to turn it to the orange colour. 251, 133, and 10. But this time what you want is rotation at 339, and then you want the Y position at 14. We want the scale X at minus 97, and then minus Y 138. Now we want to copy the layer again and change it back to white. So for this layer we want the rotation at 340. We want the X at positive 3. We want Y at 15. We want the scale X at 104. We want scaled Y at minus 150. We want to try and make all the statistics show the same, but we want it to look as natural as possible. Just so there's no rough edges, even though it shows the same statistics shown as the document, and the replication of the other emblem that I've made. Anyways, for this 31st layer, we want to change it back to the orange colour. It's going to become a kind of a rhythm here. Anyways, we want to change the X position at 2, and we're going to change Y position at 20. We're going to change the rotation to 338. We're going to have the scale on X minus 126. And then Y, we want minus 175. You see, it's still at 14, but it seems more natural now. Anyways, we're going to copy this again. Layer 32 is going to go back to white. And we're going to make the X scale back to 0. Might adjust the X scale to make it seem natural afterwards. And Y want to be at 19. We want to change the scale X to minus 136. And the scale Y minus 206. I'm trying to make everything not look distorted, but also stay to the same statistics. Sometimes it can be really finicky, and sometimes you might have to go on older layers and readjust some things. And that'll be the kind of spin in the center, representing its feet. What we want to add is a visor. It's called a visor, but it's this little thing down here. What we want is blade rotation 124. We want scale on X to be minus 157. By minus 179. Now what we want is, we want it on X 15 by 28. And it's going to be the tiny flick down there. After that we want the full circle layer, and we want it fresh. We're going to move it to minus 197. Now with this we want it on X15 by minus 26, so it's up here. 15 by minus 26. This is going to be the head of a Stamin-up character. And then after that we want half tubes. For this we want the half tube rotation at 134. We're going to change the position to 18 by minus 8. The scale on X will be minus 159. The scale on Y will be minus 177. We're going to copy this and we're going to paste it, and we're going to change the rotation to 59. We're going to move the position to 27 by minus 7. We're wanting the same size, so it will be in your best interest to copy. Now what we're going to have is something called an oven mitt. Yeah, it's a weird name for a layer. Anyways, we want for position 4 by minus 9. We want rotation 270. And what we want is, we want the colour to be 251 by 133. Pretty much the orange colour we've been replicating all this time. 251, 133 by 10. What we want is scale 152 on the X. On Y we want minus 129. we're gonna copy this and we're gonna paste. This one you're gonna turn it back on white, and then you're pretty much gonna smaller the layer size. You don't have to change these individually. If you go mutually, whenever you reach x162 and y139, it will be the same values as before. We also have the same position. This other layer is just to make the gap between that and the arm behind it. And what we're going to have this is we're going to have a tool kiss. Layer rotation will be at 72. We're going to change the color to the orange. That is so overused. If you don't get it stuck in your heads by now, I don't know how, because it gets stuck every time I try this. We want scale on X to be -146. And with Y we want -124. It's a little bit too much. -124 by 146. Now for position we want it -8 on the X, so we're going to move that back a little bit, and then -14, so we're going to move that up. It's going to give a little bit of a roundness off the edge of the back. Now once this happens, we want half dupes again. So for this half dupe we want layer rotation 294. We want it the position 2. We're going to have position at -18. Change the scale on the x-axis -136. And then change the y-scale 161 in the minus numbers. Just repeat, y will be -161 and x will be 136. We're going to copy that. We're going to change the y scale to 145 and then y scale 178. We're going to change the rotation to 235, and we're going to change the position to 10 by -20. Alright, are you sure it's not? I think I messed up there. I think it's -10 by -20. You might want to mess about with that. Anyways, we got the design ready, and now what we want is the text. So we're going in type, and personally I would start off with letter 0 sometimes, just to make things leveled out. And we want this -165. Everything has to be the same size, otherwise it will just look odd. Anyways, this will be pasted several times. The first one will be 320 rotation. This one will be at minus 51 by minus 61. You also want to look at even on the label itself, so you can readjust that sometimes to make sure you got the perfect position. The second layer will be 330 on its rotation. The position will be minus 40 by minus 69. The third letter will be 340 rotation. Rotations do have a pattern, by the way. You're going to move the X position minus 27 by minus 75. I will also jot down the error in one of the half tubes on the document. This is a good thing why I do this videos, because I don't want to give out false information like just then. Anyways, with the fourth layer, we want 350 on the rotation. We want minus 12 by minus 79. You want to bring these two closer together, otherwise they just looked weird. For layer 46, we want it at x0, y at minus 80 with no difference in rotation. Don't know what happened there. Oh, the new. Oh, right. Anyways, on the layer 47, we're gonna change the rotation to 10, and we're gonna change position positive 12 by minus 79. However you want to try and get the centered off. Now with this, I am going to copy these 2 more times. With this one, this is not going to be a usual letter like everything else. You want to change the scale on Y to minus 206. You also want to change the rotation to 290. What you want is position 26 by minus 74. We're going to be changing that a little bit later, so you'll understand. Anyways, with this, we're going to change rotation to 30. The other one to 40, just so it's not overlaying each other. I'm not going to move that one. Now here, we want it on 40 by minus 69. Now with this one, we're going to have it by 51 by minus 61. And then before we change the letters, I'm going to make 4 more, but I'm going to move them down here to finish it off. So the first one, we're wanting rotation at 15. The position on X will be minus 23 by 77Y. The next letter will be with 5 rotation, and this will be moved at minus 8 by 79. The other one's going to have a 5 rotation, and you're wanting positive 8 with positive 89, not 79 I meant. Although at the moment it just seems 80 is all it's going at. Let me do the fourth one and then readjust the others to make them even. This one you're going to have 345 on rotation. We're going to have 24 by 77. We're going to move these closer together but stick in barely on the 8 X position. Bump these up very so slightly for 79. Now they look weird there. Okay, so just for this odd occasion I'm going to change it to 80, even though on my other emblem it was saying 79. Maybe because the inner circles were probably a different ratio on the decimal points, which it does not show. Anyways, with here, now we can change the letters. Before you press on it, press triangle to change, and you can now make the name. Now in here, we're going to have it as I, in between the stamin and the up. And over here we're going to have the word soda. Okay, so we've almost done this. After we've done that, we want to have some lighting kind of layers. Now on layer 55 we want a full circle. For this you want the size 5 by 5, but we want to match it to the other thing, so we want to hover over it all. Just cover all of that. Now what we want is just change the color to a gradient. We're going to keep color 2 to transparent, and we're going to put the first color with 14 on the opacity. We're going to change rotation to 33, and we're going to change this color, which I just made red, to white. You might want to, if there's a color, sometimes it's color 2. Anyways, you're going to copy that, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back in the gradient color. Now this time we want the first one transparent, but we want the second one black. We want to get the darkness, but we want to change that to 40. And then after this we want a circle outline. Right next to the full circle. Anyways, first circle outline will be +2 in size. Try and max it out as much as possible over everything. With this we're going to also do the gradient. and we're going to have gradient rotate at 28. Now what you want is them both to be at 20. The second colour is going to be black, first colour is white, both opacities at 20. Now what you're wanting to do is have the quarter circles, which is the third one here. We want the -40 in size. Now what you want is -48 by 48. Try and get right to the tip there. We want it just on the corners of the 48. And we're going to change this opacity to 3. We want it subtle. We want to see if it's a little bit embossed. We're going to copy this. And now we're going to change the colour. Wait, no, wrong one. We're going to change the layer 59 colour to black. You want to put the opacity to 6. What you want to change rotation is 180. And just for Pete's sake, I'm going to put the opacity up so you can see where I'm moving it. And I want to move it to 50 by 51. Although it takes the tiniest bit off the other sides, I'm trying to make a, circle round rather than them overlapping each other. So I'm going to put that back onto 6. Now the other two, we're going to have the opacities on 3, but for now, same again. I'm going to have a visual representation and you can actually see what I'm doing. This one, the layer rotation will be at 94. The position will be 54 by -45. We're going to change it back to 3 now. And then we're going to copy this again. And then this one we're going to touch it up a notch. Just try and make it rounded off. And then on this layer, we want it at 267 rotation. I'm going to up the opacity so you can see. 167. We want it 46 by 52 by positive 46 by okay, we want it -46 by positive 52, and that was the second mistake of the whole document. Okay. Even though I went slow, there were still mistakes cropping up. Okay, change the opacity back down to 3, and then you see it's kind of like embossed there, Those little gradients just make it look a whole lot better. But that's not all. We're going to have one more layer. This is going to be a full circle by -20. And for this, we want to change the color. We're going to put it to a gradient. And the gradient rotation will be 164. Okay. Now what we want is the opacity to be at 30. There you go, guys, is the Stamin-up soda emblem. Now just comparison, that was the original. This is replication. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoy the tutorials. And if you like this video, smash the like button. If you like to see more of these tutorials or see other content I do, I will try and start getting more into zombies, but with the gobblegum machine stuff, it's hard for me to do challenges like I would usually do, since I need to farm and get those gobblegums like Perk-a-Holics. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy these tutorials, enjoy my other content, enjoy your season 2, and I'm sorry for the long wait for the Stamin-up Emblem video tutorial. I will see you guys next time, and just a quick note, on the text document down in the description, some of these layers will have the layer origin. The layer origins will have some say in perk beta. What you can do is delete every other emblem of Stamin-up and keep perk beta. You can delete those individual layers, and for the perk beta layer origins, they're repeated. So for example, some layers here are the same layers here. Although, as you can tell, thickness and the center is a little bit weird because they're not exactly the same because they're decimal points. So if you want the exact same and you're that perfectionist or OCD kind of style, copy this, and then you can make the center label the exact same size every single time. All you got to do is change some colors, add more layers, rearranging them, and then voila. Anyways, hope you guys have a good morning and a good evening, as this is 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll see you guys next time. Vulturus out.